Hey y'all, welcome back to MK3 Firearms. Today, we're checking out yet another Browning high power, and a very special one at that. I'm sure at first glance you can tell it is beautiful. She is striking, as they say, but it's a MK3 Firearms first. And if you haven't already caught it, beaver tail and factory flat trigger. Pretty awesome. As far as the beaver tail goes, this is our first, so it's going to be, I guess, our version 1, if you want to call it that. And we're actually going to do another one for the bob hammer version 2. But this thing is just awesome. And we themed it with the factory flat trigger. So the way we do this, if you imagine this is the back strap of the gun, and then you have the flat, the hammer would be up here. That's basically the same curve and flat as the beaver tail, the curve and the flat up here. So they're themed together, which is just, it's just awesome. Pretty freaking awesome. The lines just go so well with the gun. Add in those VZ Pro Slim grips. I mean, it's just, it's perfect. Doesn't get much better. But you know, with these high powers, every customer has their own, idea and theme they want to go with, and it's just like having, a collection of hot rods. I mean, they're all different, but they're all beautiful in their own way, so it's really cool. As far as all the work performed, we'll go around the pistol. But Cerakote, this is the cobalt for the slide and frame, and graphite black controls and everything else, of course, the grips. And yeah, that cobalt is a really cool color, actually, just in its natural form, unblended. It has a stonewash characteristic, as you can see, which is really good at hiding imperfections. Say you have a high power, lots of them come to us and they're in a pretty poor shape. We don't have to do a lot of, reworking of the metal. We can actually just do a finish like this and it will hide a lot of the imperfections. Not saying this gun has a lot of imperfections, but this color is great for that. Not only is it beautiful, but it's also very functional. As far as the work performed, we'll go around the pistol. Starting off, we have a factory trigger that's been resculpted by us and flattened. Cylinder slide extended safety. Got a cylinder slide, no bite commander hammer in the rear. Of course, all matched up with the beaver tail. Fit to the back of the slide in the frame. Dan Wesson CZ Novak cut 1911 sights cut in there with 40 lines per inch serrations. Really awesome, not too big, not too small. Moving our way across up to the front, we have a Heine Novak front, serrated of course. And the barrel crown. This is an 11-degree crown, so definitely a target crown. Barrel recessed and set to that 11 degrees in there. The VZ Pro Slims, always a favorite. I think they're on 90% of the pistols we do. And some faceting up front. Pretty awesome, guys. If you're not into stippling or checkering, you want something different, the faceting works great, especially for the serial numbers, as you can see. That way you don't have to worry about not being able to do the checkering, or if you want something different than stippling, there you go. That's what the faceting is for. Got it on the back strap as well, all the way up through the beaver tail. What else? What else do we got going on here? I think that's pretty much about it. Crown barrel, Novak cut front Heine sights, Novak Dan Wesson rears from CZ, commander hammer, beaver tail, faceting. Yeah, simple, not too crazy, but really, really awesome. I mean, you change the trigger profile and you add a beaver tail on these guns. Change out the sights, it completely changes the dynamic, the lines and how they flow. You don't really need much more. Of course, that rear sight's perfect, cut flush at the top of the slide, set in there, cut perfect for the back. And yeah, it's just awesome. Let's go ahead and check out the trigger job, of course. Can't forget about that one. And something about this factory trigger is just awesome. It almost has, I guess it's more perceived, but it feels better than, say, the Garthway trigger or even the cylinder slide. it's a thinner trigger. I know the other two are wider, so it's a little bit thinner on both sides, which gives you definitely a more felt break. Maybe, I guess, you know, the thinner you go, the more sharp, you know, the trigger face is, if you will, on your finger. Which perception of pulling this trigger, it makes it feel like it's a lighter, crisper break, but I know it's just because it's a thinner trigger. But it's another option for you guys, you know. God, that trigger just dances. The reflection of that Cerakote on it is perfect. Okay, into the trigger. So, virtually, of course, a single stage as we make them. No take up. The wall is already there, and it just breaks, as you can see. Once again, if I can get this lighting better for us. No take up. As you can see, the trigger doesn't move. Break. Here's your reset. Break. 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 It is just, I mean, it doesn't get any better. These triggers that we do for the high powers, I mean, I'm sure one day someone will throw their hat in the ring and try to challenge us, but no one does it like us. Not to toot our own horns, it's just a fact. And that beaver tail is just gorgeous. Now, some might say, why don't you have an upswept beaver tail? Why aren't you curving it up, you know, like a 1911 style? Well, the way these high powers are done, if you look at these hammers, I mean, there's not a lot of room for the beaver tail. You'd have to come out further and really kind of curve up, and at that point, it's going to look really funky, guys. Or another way you could do it was bring the beaver tail down, you know, have it come down out of the frame, or build the frame up here and have it kind of come up more. But then, what's the point? I mean, you're increasing the bore axis, you're increasing the height of the bore from your grip, which is not good for control of the pistol. So, you know, that's why it's that shape. Like I said, when we do our bobbed hammer, we're going to do more of a 1911 style, a little shorty that's going to curl up and look really, really cool. Not that this doesn't, this looks awesome. I mean, themed with that trigger, it doesn't get much better than this. That's my humble opinion, of course. Safety. Yeah, this thing is awesome, guys. I hope you love it as much as I do, because it's definitely my recent favorite. Favorites change every day, of course. I mean, we'll go on to the next project and that'll be my new favorite. But these high powers definitely have a spot in my heart. And quickly they're becoming very, very popular in everybody else's as well. But guys, as always, questions, comments, concerns, leave them. You know we will answer accordingly. Wow, what a beauty. It's a shame I gotta send her off, but I got a gentleman doing, I believe, a front sight course, and he's gonna run this pistol all 4 days. So definitely gonna put her through her paces. Wow. Beautiful. Okay, guys. Until next time.